What's up, guys? Welcome to What's in the Pot. I'm your host, Sean Grande. I know I've been away for a little while, but I'm back. That's right. And today we are making Pelau. Not just any kind of Pelau. We're making Instant Pot Pelau. You see it right there? That's the Instant Pot. We're making Instant Pot Pelau. It's What's in the Pot. So the first thing we're gonna do for the Pelau is season the chicken. I'm using 1 pound of chicken, and I'm using a couple chicken legs chopped up and some boneless chicken thighs. I'm gonna start with a teaspoon of minced garlic, and we're gonna add any kind of garlic. You can use fresh garlic, you can use bottled garlic, it's really up to you. The next thing we're gonna use is some onions. I'm gonna add about a quarter of an onion, just chopped up finely. That onion is gonna season the meat. It's also gonna add some flavoring into the pot. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of adobo. Any kind of adobo seasoning you have, you can go ahead and use it. If you don't have adobo, you can use like an all-purpose seasoning or anything like that. We're gonna use about a teaspoon and a bit of this Bertie's pimento seasoning. You can find this from Pelau box, as well as the Bertie's pepper sauce. And the pimento is just a lot of flavoring. It's a very light pepper, it's not strong. And then the regular pepper sauce is your typical Trinidadian pepper sauce. It gives a nice flavor, add nice flavoring to the meat. I'm gonna use a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna use a lot of salt because we're adding salt into the pot itself. And what we're also gonna be doing is adding some seasoning salt, and adding about a teaspoon of black pepper. And we're gonna use some of this Badia Complete seasoning, and we're gonna be about almost a tablespoon. This stuff is really good. It's one of my favorite things to use. And I'm gonna add about another teaspoon of seasoning salt. Any kind of seasoning salt you do, I prefer the Badia ones. It's not too strong, it's not too salty. And I'm adding about a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of fresh green seasoning. What I do is I chop it up and I go ahead and I freeze it, keep it fresh. If you have the bottled green stuff, use about 2 tablespoons. But just go ahead and mix it up, get that all mixed in, get the seasoning. Best thing to do is let the chicken sit for about an hour or 2, overnight even better. Lets all that flavoring get into the chicken. There you go. So right off the bat, we're gonna go ahead and put everything into the Instant Pot. So we're gonna start with our seasoned chicken. And now normally when you're making Pelau, you're gonna be using you're gonna start browning the chicken like you're making a stew chicken, and you're gonna add your rice, and you're gonna add your peas and everything else to go ahead and make that Pelau. But this is a little bit different. So I'm starting with the chicken, about half a cup of carrots. You can also use pumpkin. I like carrots, so I like the flavor the carrots gives into my Pelau, and something I've always used. So I will go ahead, went ahead and added some carrots. I'm using 1 teaspoon of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of salt. Use any kind of salt or any kind of black pepper, and also remember, salt and pepper is also the taste. I'm using 1.5 tablespoons of Caribbean flavors coconut milk powder. This you can get from Pelau box. And I'm adding a 15-ounce can of green pigeon peas. If you don't have green pigeon peas, you can use the regular green pigeon, the Congo peas, the darker one, but really I suggest use the green pigeon peas. Now the next thing you're gonna add is that caramel browning. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of browning. Now this Chief brand caramel browning is really strong, so I added 1 tablespoon and 1 tablespoon of water just to dilute it. And I also went ahead and added 1.5 cups of chicken stock or vegetable stock, any kind of stock you want to use. What the stock does, it gives a little bit more flavor to the rice. And I added 1.5 cup of parboiled rice. Now when you're making anything with the Instant Pot, rice or pasta, use the equivalent amount of rice to liquid or pasta to liquid. So the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna top it off with a whole pepper, and the pepper's not gonna bust. Make sure our settings is set to steam at the top, and that's it. We hit the rice button and it's gonna go to auto. And so after 20 minutes, the steamer valve is gonna go all the way down. Once the steamer valve has gone all the way down, you're gonna open the pot and you're just gonna check it. If it needs a couple more minutes, put it back on auto and run it for about 5 minutes and take it back off. You can see that rice and that chicken just all kind of cooked in with all the flavors, all your seasonings. Now you wanna make sure you take the pepper out before you mix around the pot, just because you don't want the pepper to burst. That's gonna be some spicy rice. And just give it a turn, see, make sure it doesn't stick or anything. But there you go, that's Instant Pot chicken, Instant Pot chicken Pelau, I should say. Look at that chicken, just falling off the bone. So there you have it, Instant Pot Pelau, brought to you by Pelau box, Homemade Zagat, and yours truly, Train Shata. Don't forget to check out the full recipe on Homemade Zagat's website. I'll be posting that in the link. Also, you can get a Pelau recipe in this month's Pelau box, which is the Trinidad and Tobago Pelau box, Creole box, I should say. But don't forget to tune in, like, share, and subscribe. It's What's in the Pot.